Alright guys, Zachman18 here. Welcome back to the WTZM TV channel 18 Superstation. I might have started my recording a little early there, so my intro was probably cut out a little bit there. Welcome back to the next part of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. We are heading into day 3 of the case. This is the final day of the case, obviously, since you can only go up to 3 days. And we're going in the court, and we're going to hopefully finish up this case of Maki Tobey right now. Well, this is it. Today's the day it all goes down. And then there was yesterday. This meeting is over. Sorry. Just give us 5 more minutes. We can call them back after that. Sorry, no go. Come on, piano boy. We're leaving. Darian, wait. I never liked you. Either of you. Huh? Yeah, I might think he might be it. Darn it, we were so close. He was about to tell us. Hey, Apollo. He didn't want us to hear what Maki had to say. And I think I know why. Time to bring down a little justice. Whoa! What was that? He is heard but unseen. Who's that talking? Oh my god. Lamiroir, using the door like an average muggle, no less. You aren't the witness today, are you, Uncle Valent? A preposterous proposition. How could I stand upon the stand? Why, my secrets will be free for the plucking. I might even have to sign autographs. That is why I intend to remain hidden for the entire day. Ooh, with vanishing magic? Indeed, I will jump upon an express train and express myself to the next town over. But before I go, a word of warning. Warning? What? Glamour resides at the root of all that has happened. Do not forget this truth. A glamour? A spell, a sorcery, a great illusion. This truth, though it pains me to part so, I need to get in line for a ticket. Farewell. God, he's so weird. And there he goes. He sure seemed happy about that illusion thing. Oh, big illusions are the bread and butter of a magician. You can't pull off a show without one. The big illusion is always a spectacle to remember. Usually involves cutting up things like people or elephants or the Eiffel Tower. Anything, really. So he was talking about what he saw at the concert. Lamoire's disappearing act, and Prosecutor Gavin's exploding guitar. I wonder what he meant by it being at the root of all that has happened. Well, it's about time. Shall we go? Excuse me, sir? Yes? The scheduled starting time for the trial has been changed. The trial will not be commencing until 10:30 a.m. Sorry for the inconvenience. Huh? Did something happen? This is a first. It was by the judge's request, some urgent personal business. Great, I bet he stayed up too late last night watching courtroom dramas. Apparently he's visiting the hospital again. The hospital? I believe it was mentioned that the Chief Justice's son is unwell. Apparently his condition worsened considerably this morning. The Chief Justice's son. Oh, that's right. Remember yesterday morning, the judge said he had to go visit him after the trial? There's an article about it in the newspaper, if you care to read about it yourself. Incurious. Where have I heard that before? I'll let you read that article for us, Apollo. That's the cure thing that we heard about with the replica. Just leave the TV guide page to me. Try not to lose the page with the funnies if you can. 10:30 a.m. Let's do this. My apologies for the delay. Court is now in session for the trial of, how do you say this name again? Maki Tobey, suspect fortissimo. Right. It's his trial in any case. The defense is prepared, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready to rock. Is something wrong, Your Honor? No, well, yes. It's just I've been friends with the Chief Justice since we were students. It pains me to see him going through such a difficult time. Incurious, was it? That article said there is no known cure. Judge, let me say, with all honesty, I feel you are pain. But now is not the time for tears. Now is the time for law. Indeed. We left off at quite the juncture yesterday. I asked Interpol about that number. IPX 314-206. The agent registered under this number was Romain Letus. Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Chris End. It's a great help. Oh, no problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out. Wait, that voice just now. It was him, I am sure of it. It was him? That voice I heard talking to Mr. Letus. When I heard the gunshots fired, it was him. It was Mr. Darian. No way! Quite a sensational ending. Who would have thought Darian would guest star on the season cliffhanger as a suspect? I asked the prosecution to look into this matter. Please tell the court your findings. Darian Crescent is a member of my band, the Gaviniers. He is also a detective, making the current charges serious indeed. Yet after investigation, I found no cause to alter our case or file new charges. And your reason is? Weren't you aware, Hair Forehead? He has an impeccable alibi. An alibi? Let us review the facts again, shall we? The concert held on the night of the shooting was in 3 sets. The Gaviniers ripped up the stage during the first set. For the second set, our guest took center stage. The only performers appearing were myself, Lamiroir, and Maki, along with a drummer and bassist, for a total of 5. The shooting in the dressing room, however, took place during the third set. Lamiroir and the defendant Maki Tobe had left the stage at that point, and the Gaviniers were already rocking. This is when 2 shots rang out at the scene of the crime. Shots heard by Detective Emma Sky, mind you. And Apollo, you heard them too, right? I sure did. Furthermore, Lamiroir herself witnessed the moment of the crime. Well, perhaps I should say she heard the moment of the crime, when she claims to have heard Mr. Letous and Detective Crescent talking. That's impossible. Detective Crescent was... Precisely. Detective Crescent was on stage, getting his groove on, no less. Voila. A perfect alibi. Does the defense have anything to add to this? It's true. When I heard those gunshots, he must have been on stage. Still, there's something here that doesn't quite add up. It appears the defense has no objections. I believe we can safely say that Derry Crescent's alibi has been acknowledged. Which means that Lamiroir was sadly mistaken. Her testimony cannot be true. Very well. Of course, if we disregard her testimony, then I see no evidence keeping us from declaring a verdict. If indeed there are no objections. Uh-oh, Apollo, if he declares a verdict now... Prosecutor Gavin's case is airtight. Lamiroir might have been lying to protect Maki. How can I rely on her testimony? Wait, what about yesterday in the detention center? About the case? What about the case? He wants to tell us about Mr. Letous' death? This meeting's over. Darian? Maki was trying to tell us something. I know it. Maybe the best thing to do is ask him, under oath. Very well, the court finds the defendant, what's his name again? Your Honor! No, that wasn't it. It was something like Marquise or Mercer Justice. Your Honor, before you declare a verdict, I would like to call another witness. Exactly who else do you need to hear from? A witness who, until now, has not been given a chance to speak in this court. Because he doesn't speak English. You don't mean... I do. The defense calls defendant Maki Tobe to the stand. What? But he doesn't speak English. We'll use an interpreter. Interpreter, I'm afraid you'll have to look elsewhere. I only speak a few phrases such as, I love you and where is the toilet? The defense would like to request Lamiroir as the interpreter. Lamiroir? But there's a possibility she's protecting the defendant. Would she be interpreting for this defendant? Why would she lie? This is most unusual. Ha ha. Bravo, Herr Forehead. Herr Judge, the prosecution agrees with the defendant's request. If Lamiroir lies, I'll be able to tell. Even my limited knowledge of the language should be enough for that. Well, if both prosecution and defense are for this, I see little cause for refusal. Finally, some progress. Bailiff, please show the defendant and Lamiroir to the witness stand. I suppose there is a first time for everything. Shall we proceed? Your name to begin with? If you would, Lamiroir? Yes. He says Maki Tobe, the defendant. This is certainly a first for this courtroom. Not that we really needed an interpretation of that message in particular. So far, so good. Very well, Mr. Justice, if you would. Huh? If I would what, Your Honor? Would what? You called the defendant to the stand, did you not? What would you have him testify about? What do I want him to testify about? I hadn't thought that far yet. Apollo, aren't you going to ask him what he was about to tell us yesterday? How can I if I don't know what he's saying? Excuse me a moment if I might speak. Yes, Lamiroir? Just now Maki said there is something about which he wishes to testify. Maki wants to testify about something? What could it be? What sort of testimony is he talking about? One moment, please. The suspense is killing me. What? What? Well, Lamiroir? According to Maki, he has proof of his innocence. What? This is a surprise. Yahoo! Victory, Apollo, we did it! This is sounding too good to believe, and I know what that usually means. Well, if that's true, then this is vital testimony. Lamiroir, Maki, please testify to the court. Very well. Holy crap, here we go. He says the word of Mr. Letous' death came as a great shock. But if the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song, that is, he could not have done it. He says that because the lyrics are in English, he does not understand them. I see. He wouldn't have understood the English lyrics to the song. that would prevent him from following them so closely.
I wonder what he meant by proof. Why, he would only have to ask Lamiroir to know the meaning of that song.
Lamiroir, did you ever explain the lyrics of that song to him?
I did tell him generally what the song was about, but never in so much detail, and he never asked. Has my off-torpedo warning already fled that forehead? Lamiroir might be protecting the witness.
Well, anyway, let us proceed with the cross-examination. Mr. Justice, if you would. Yes, Your Honor. Something's hidden in that testimony, I know it. I'll just have to trust my bracelet to tell me where. It worked yesterday, it'll work today. Oh, so we're using our bracelet now, huh? Okay. So let's see if we can find anything. Are we paying attention to Maki or her? I'm guessing him. Don't see anything yet. Yeah, I knew he was innocent. I believe he was too. I know. Wait a second. That's telling me. Gotta be something. Whoa! I saw something on his face. You guys see that? Look right here. It's like right near his eyes. Which one do I do it on? I want to try this and see if I saw something like on his face somewhere. Oh, he's looking the other way. Gotcha! I saw something like, it was really tiny on his eyes, and he like moved the other direction. I noticed like a little movement, like on the where the glasses were. It was looking towards Lamiroir, so I was like, okay, that's something on his face there that's moving while he's talking. Maki, you can't fool my eyes. You glanced toward her the very moment Lamiroir said the word English. Why? And don't bother interpreting that. He understands me. Maki, tell the truth. You can understand English, can't you? What are you saying? Of course he can't. Must he continue this charade?
Mr. Justice, Maki says this. I know the word English.
Huh?
Before coming to this country, he heard me speaking... Sorry, he heard me speaking English. He had learned the name for this language. That is all.
What? Give me a break.
Is that such an unusual word to understand? Do you not know Espanol, for instance?
Well, yeah, but...
I am sorry, but he truly does not understand your language.
Well, then explain this. How does he know the crime followed the lyrics?
Have you always been such a suspicious-minded lad? It is simple, so simple it hardly requires an explanation. You read about it in the newspaper.
The newspaper?
The Bourguignon Daily Bugle. You can buy it in this country these days, you know. They have already begun to report about this case in our homeland.
I was right.
What is wrong, Mr. Justice? Your eyes, they are quite fierce all of a sudden.
Maki is lying. Maybe it's time to show them proof that he's lying. Okay. So we didn't even read that newspaper that he gave us in the beginning. So he said he heard about it in the newspaper. Wait, this is the newspaper about the chief. Where's that other newspaper we got? There it is. Article about the case. It doesn't mention the lyrics of Lamiroir's ballad, so that is a lie. Because he said that he saw the lyrics in the newspaper. Take that! I have here a Bourguignon newspaper, the Bourguignon Daily Bugle, as a matter of fact. Indeed, there was a featured article about the case. Could you read this for me, Maki? That's right. It doesn't mention the lyrics. What? What is this all about? I'm sorry, Maki. You couldn't have read about the lyrics in a Bourguignon newspaper. Oh boy. What does this mean?
But I don't see how it's possible. Ah, I know. You must have heard the lyrics when the police were doing their questioning. Yes. Not possible. The subject of the lyrics was not brought in up. Please question me. I read the full report myself.
So the lyrics weren't in the newspaper and the police didn't mention them. The only place you could have heard them was in this courtroom. In English, no less. The witness will explain himself.
Maki says he says...
Yes?
It is true I read the newspaper, but this is not where I learned of the lyrics. I was mistaken. Now I remember.
You remember?
He says he heard of the lyrics from me.
What? Is this true, Lamiroir?
Yes, I'm afraid I had forgotten it myself. It looks like Half-Full-Head's been jumping to conclusions again.
It seems so, yes. No. I was onto something, I know it. I can't let this chance slip away. Time is an issue today. Mr. Justice, are you finished with the cross-examination?
What are you going to do, Apollo?
If I'm going to keep on cross-examining, I'd better have an angle of attack. Or else. My bracelet's still reacting. Your Honor, please allow me to continue. If you must, you must. Very well. Witness?
I understand.
Okay. Oh, fudge. Oh, that's a statement that he added.
Maybe there's something that...
So that's a statement that he added in the testimony, so let's try using the bracelet on that and see if we can find anything. Since we didn't see anything else in the other statements. Okay, I don't see anything up here. Try checking down here. Just gonna pull another. I need to. It was I. He said I? It was him that explained it? Oh, his neck moved. Oh, gotcha. Oh, this is so much fun. I love this new feature in this game. I hope they add this feature to Apollo in Dual Destinies. It's really cool. Did you know that the body reveals our thoughts? And yours is telling me you were uncertain just now.
Should I be interpreting this or not?
Yes, of course.
I must admit I find it hard to interpret that which makes no sense. Maybe you got it wrong, Apollo. Just a thought.
You might have a point there, Trucy. No need to interpret that after all, Amor.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've already told him.
Great, now even my client's laughing at me. Guess that was the wrong spot after... What? Ah! Let me try that again. Maybe I had like the wrong spot, because I saw it move. I swear I did. I swear I saw it move. And God dang it! This isn't making sense. Try and follow the song. Get back to there. At least I'm not getting penalties there, so let's keep trying. Maybe I didn't see anything there. I swear I thought I saw his neck move or something. Exactly how much did you explain to Maki?
This is a question for me, yes?
This interpretation thing is getting old fast.
I told him Mr. Leitus had been killed and why he was a suspect, and I told him the crimes of that day followed my song.
Did you mention any particular words of the song relating to the case such as heart?
Yes, of course I explained this. He was quite surprised.
Yay, I knew he was innocent. Okay. So let's keep searching. I feel like... Because this is the only statement that he's added. There's got to be something wrong with this one, which is why I really want to use the necklace. Lamiroir could be lying too. I'm not sure though. Oh, now her neck is moving. Oh my god, I thought it was his neck moving, but now it's hers. Lamiroir, I'm currently cross-examining Maki. Why should you be uncertain? Me? Uncertain? Yes, you swallowed the very moment you told the court. It was I who explained. I see there is little point in trying to hide anything from you. Lamiroir, are you indeed protecting someone?
That is not a question with a simple answer. To tell the truth, I do not believe it myself.
Then allow me to answer for you. Lamiroir, you're protecting... Why are they having us do this? She's protecting Maki because she's lying. Take that. Wow, could that be more easier? Lamiroir, you were protecting Maki. That's why you lied and told us that you had explained how the crime followed the song. I don't fault you for trying to help, but this is not the way. Maki, I believe you didn't do it, really. I trust you, but you've lied to us twice, and now you have Lamiroir lying on your behalf. If this is going to work, you have to trust me, too. Your two lies cover a simple truth. You understand English, you have to. Ah! Oh, we're getting the first little voice out of him. Witness, is this true? Do you understand English?
Yes, a little only.
Okay, I just got a weird message on Facebook. Hold on. There we go.
Yes, a little only.
I don't know what this to do for him. What?
First I could see, now I can talk. And you did not know about this, Lamiroir. I know, I did not. It is quite a surprise.
How many secrets is this witness hiding?
This is last.
Maki, could you tell us what really happened?
No shooting. I did no shooting.
So you weren't in the dressing room when I heard those 2 gunshots, correct?
Apparently the answer to that question isn't simple either. I was in dressing room, behind desk. Manager, he on floor.
Which would be after the shooting, right?
Then there is voice. Voice or voices? Was it you and Emma, Apollo?
So when Maki went into the dressing room, Mr. Leitus had already been shot. And then we came to the door.
Panel high up. I take off. Run away. Run away.
So it was you who escaped through that air vent.
As the prosecution has held all along, no less. The defendant is admitted to being at the scene. Might we take this as a confession?
No, he's clearly denied that he did it.
I know shooting. Manager on floor. Already on floor. The victim had already been shot, you say? I find that hard to believe. The defendant understood the song lyrics. He was at the scene of the crime. This can only mean one thing. He is the shooter.
Does the defendant have anything to say to this?
He's clammed up, Apollo.
Then let's ask Mr. Justice, will you require any further testimony from the witness? Is that it? Is there nothing else I can get him to testify about? Wait, no, of course there is.
What is this cocoon anyway? The cocoon, the silk is a potent cure. A cure? Well, Maki, are you a smuggler? He won't tell me.
That cocoon has to have something to do with this. Maki, please, tell us the truth for your own sake.
No, no more speak. Not to any of you. So much for your precious trust, Half-Forehead.
Hey, you were the one who didn't believe him.
Regardless, this brings us to an impasse.
It does seem the defense and defendant are at odds. I doubt we are likely to learn anything more of value should this continue. I see no other course but to declare a 5-minute recess. The defense will work things out with the defendant so that we might proceed.
God, stupid.
Maki. Maki. What are you doing?
Apollo Eustace.
That's justice. Better learn how to say it if you ever want to get some.
Believe I know shooting.
Maki claims Mr. Leitus is already down on the ground when he entered the room.
Maybe it was a trap and you walked right into it. Suddenly, I hear a revolver. Close. Very close. Then I hear voice.
You heard gunshots?
Yes, it's true. I hear revolver, but only sound.
Wait, you're saying you went into the dressing room and found Mr. Laytooth already dead, and then you heard shots? If that's true.
So, you were at the scene of the crime when you heard those shots?
And you escaped through the air vent.
I know. Huh? What do you know? I know if I open a vent, I can leave stage and backstage.
So the vents went to both the stage and the backstage area. Is that what he means?
Hey, he's right. Look, Apollo.
Huh? Yeah. But how did you know it was connected like that?
Well, wait, I bet his father was the architect that designed the hall or something. I hear this from Magician.
Magician?
Don't look at me.
A magician, huh?
Well, at least we're clear on one thing. Maki didn't shoot Mr. Laytooth.
Yeah, but where does that leave us with? We're supposed to say he went into the room to find the body and then he heard the shots. That one thing's going to go over well in court. No.
Apollo, you're his defense. You're supposed to believe whatever he says, even lies. That's what Daddy always told me.
I'll just pretend you misheard him every time. So what do we do?
You're sure you won't testify, Maki? No talking, no. Well, it was worth a shot.
That cocoon.
I can't go home. Can't go home? I can't go home to Borginia. I do not want to go home. The penalty for taking a cocoon from Borginia is death.
That's right, it's punishable by death. Of course, she's scared. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to try a different approach.
That's the spirit, Apollo. So what's your plan?
If Maki won't testify about it, we'll have to get someone else to testify.
Someone else?
I think we're out of time. Let's get back in there.
Right.
Holy shillelagh.
Court is now back in session. Mr. Justice, have you sorted things out with the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor. We had a good talk.
Very well. So will he testify?
Your Honor, the defendant will not testify.
What?
Shame, and here I thought this was your big chance to turn the case around.
Actually, it is. The defense would like to approach this case from a different angle, Your Honor.
A different angle?
If Maki won't testify, then I know who will. I would like to cross-examine the witness in this case, Lamiroir.
Lamiroir?
What are you up to now? I thought we determined yesterday that Lamiroir's testimony was insubstantial. There's nothing you can...
Lamiroir was taken to the hospital yesterday with injuries.
What happened?
She was assaulted, Your Honor.
Assaulted?
Someone wanted Lamiroir dead. Thankfully, she was able to save herself.
What? I've heard no such report.
Prosecutor Gavin, why would anyone be out to kill Lamiroir? Can you think of a reason?
Well,
think of how she is known in our country. A singer from overseas who doesn't speak English, yes? Yet someone tried to keep her mouth shut. Who could that have been?
You don't think...
I do. It was the same person who shot Mr. Laytooth. The killer was afraid of her, afraid of what she might say. The defense believes that something was hidden in her testimony yesterday. Something that the killer doesn't want getting out.
So I might understand that this is what you're saying? Namely, that there is a nugget of truth in Lamiroir's testimony? A nugget we have yet to uncover?
Exactly.
If Lamiroir was attacked, this has serious implications. Very well. There were some vague points in her testimony during yesterday's trial. Perhaps we did not inquire as deeply as we might have into some. The court will hear Lamiroir's testimony once more.
Lamiroir, I must apologize. We must ask you to stand again and speak. You need not apologize. I know that Maki is as innocent, and I will do all that I can until the court realizes this.
Let's review your testimony from yesterday. You told us you heard 2 gunshots and the shooter's voice through the window, and that the voice belonged to Darian Crescent, yes?
That is correct. At which point I have proof she cannot be correct. She couldn't have heard any of those things. The small window at the scene was closed and was found to be quite soundproof.
You have nothing to say to that, Mr. Justice?
I don't know exactly what yet, but I do know there's something there.
There is, it seems, much you do not know.
And yet it is my duty to hear him out. Perhaps the witness would be so kind as to testify once more to the court.
Of course, Your Honor.
Let's do this! Hold on, messaging people.
I was on my way from the stage to the backstage...
backstage exit.
That's when I heard them, Mr. Laytoose and the detective. I heard the faint sound of a gunshot and stopped. Then I heard another gunshot. There was the smell of gunpowder. I knew I must tell someone, but I was in a hurry, so I kept moving past the small window.
Pretty much the same as yesterday's testimony.
I am sorry. I am not used to speaking much in this language. Perhaps my descriptions are lacking in some way. Yet everything I have said here is the truth. And it is my distinct suspicion to say this. What you have said to have happened is impossible.
Do I have to repeat myself? Lamiroir was attacked because of this testimony. What, Trucy?
Apollo, you know, for a moment there, you were pretty cool.
Maybe I do better when I don't try to think ahead. Very well, Mr. Justice. Perhaps you can coolly cross-examine the witness. Getting messages!
Okay. Okay. Hold it!
Is something wrong?
I raised an objection, but she's saying the same thing she said before.
Mr. Justice?
Sorry, it's nothing. Please continue with your testimony.
Now I know what they mean about the reckless youth these days.
The one in red over there is a shining example here, Judge.
You're the last person who should be pointing fingers, Mr. Rockstar. Hold it! Dorian Crescend.
I did not know his name at the time, but yes, it was him, the one who took the stand yesterday. How many times do I need to remind you that it's impossible? There's no way you could have heard him, because the window at the scene was closed.
Oh, because the window scene was closed? Is that why?
Of course. Apollo, if we keep asking the same questions as yesterday, we won't get anywhere.
She's right. Maybe there's a different angle I can try. What were they talking about? Did you hear anything else, or no need? Let's go with the first option. Lamiroir, do you buy any chance to remember what they were saying to each other? If so, please tell us.
I have given it much reflection, but
I was afraid of this. She doesn't remember.
I only heard one phrase clearly.
A whole phrase? You remember something that was said? Why didn't you say anything yesterday?
Though my memory is clear, I was afraid to speak. You see, I do not understand what was said.
This could be it. The clue I've been waiting for. But what did he say?
It was the other man speaking, not Mr. Laytoose.
The shooter, then. Dorian Crescend.
Well, what did he say?
It's over. Press the switch. Now.
Switch? And the shooter said this to the victim, Mr. Laytoose.
I thought it quite strange myself afterward.
It is a mystery. What could it possibly mean? Mr. Justice, care to shed some light on this?
Sure. I'd be delighted. It's, very, very vital. Maybe we could add that to his testimony.
Maybe, Apollo?
Okay. So that switch was that remote trigger that, was lit off. Where is it? Found on the stage, triggers an igniter within 30 feet, and that's how Gavin's guitar caught on fire. Objection! Press the switch. There's only one key that can unlock the mystery of those words. Oh?
Yet there was nothing at the scene that could be called a switch.
True, there wasn't a switch at the scene, but it just so happens I have a switch right here.
That certainly does look like a switch, doesn't it?
The problem is, sorry, I'm messaging people. This was found not at the scene of the crime, but on the stage.
The stage?
Where the concert was held, yes. This was found hidden there.
On the stage.
Are you claiming that the voice Lamiroir heard was of someone commanding another to press the switch?
It's a possibility. Get his fingerprints.
Oh, Herr Forehand, I call that an impossibility.
Why?
It's hardly necessary for me to remind the court of the layout of the concert form. The stage is quite far from Lamiroir's dressing room. Not to mention that the Gaviniers were in the middle of a concert on said stage. We aren't known for being a quiet band. You could shout all you wanted and not be heard. The detective's voice was loud, but certainly not a shout. So too have Herr Forehead's cries of possibility fallen far short of being heard.
Sorry, but he wouldn't have needed to shout.
Excuse me?
You heard what I said, or do you need me to shout it out for you? It would have been quite simple to be heard on the stage from that dressing room. Oh wait, you like evidence, don't you? How about this? Using this, it would be easy to get a message to someone on stage from the dressing room. It was those headsets that all the staff members were wearing on their heads. Take that! Prosecutor Gavin, perhaps you're familiar with this?
Why, that's...
What? What is it? Is that some kind of newfangled phone they invented while I wasn't looking?
This is a type of transmitter, a communications device. Why does it say I have a message when I don't? Okay, sorry.
Communications device?
From what I've heard that night, everyone on stage was wearing one of these. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Gavin?
Ah, yes, actually. Therefore, talking between band members. We all had one on.
So you admit that if you were wearing one of these, talking from the backstage of the stage would be simple. Talking to the backstage, sorry.
True, but wait. They'll send out an electronic signal. To avoid interference with the audio systems, their range is quite limited. Lamar said it was about 30 feet, right?
Look at this cross-section diagram of the concert forum. Ah, exactly. The walk from the stage to the backstage seems far, but the direct distance is less than 30 feet.
That can't be.
So when Lamar heard the intruder's voice, he could have been talking to someone on stage.
Jeez.
Huh, you're claiming this is the switch in question. Why did it have to be on the stage at the time? It could be placed in a pocket and carried anywhere. Someone could have hit it on the stage after the fact. Hey, he's got a point. How do we know where it was when she heard the voice? When the shooter said press the switch.
Well, I guess we don't.
An unfortunate situation. I'm afraid that until we know where the switch was, there's little point in debating it.
I was sure this was the way to go with this.
What is this switch anyway? We don't even know that basic fact.
The switch was the thing that caught the guitar on fire. Wait a second, I do know what the switch is. And if you follow that train of logic to its incredible conclusion, it ends up in proof that completely changes this case.
What's up, Apollo? Apollo?
We know about this switch, right? We know what it is.
Yeah?
Well, think of when it was used that day. Think of what happened.
Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no further information to share concerning the switch. Your Honor? Yes, Mr. Justice?
I've been remiss in not telling the court this before. I know what this switch is.
Well, it seems the defense is set upon linking the switch to the case. Let's see your evidence of the link. What evidence do you have to explain what the switch is?
It's that thing that caught the guitar on fire. Where is it? Here it is. Take that! Prosecutor Gavin, you do remember this.
Ah, that's that.
That what? Is it another one of those newfangled phones?
This is an igniter. What phone looks like this?
There we go. Igniter? You mean it's like a lighter?
Yes, actually.
You aren't saying the switch is a remote?
I am. This is a remote trigger for an igniter.
What?
Look, I'll show you. Look, I'll show you.
Yo! Mr. Justice, you will cease and desist from burning down this courtroom.
Sorry, that was a bit more fire than I expected.
If my whiskers had caught on fire.
Prosecutor Gavin, let me repeat myself. The switch is a remote igniter trigger. Doesn't that suggest something to you?
You're talking about what happened to me, aren't you? Ah!
Exactly. Sorry. That night at the concert, there was one unusual burst of flame. And your guitar caught on fire in the middle of your performance.
Wasn't that part of the stage show, though?
Prosecutor Gavin was entirely unaware such a thing had been planned. And the guitar that burned was a valuable keepsake.
That's right. He got it in Borghini from Lamiroir. He said the sound was amazing before it burned, of course. Now it just kind of smokes.
The better the guitar, the brighter it burns.
Half full head?
Yes?
Don't tell me you're trying to tie those two things together. Those being the shooter's voice heard by Lamiroir, and the guitar suddenly catching on fire.
I am. It's really simple when you think about it. Mr. Letus and the shooter were at the crime scene. The shooter was wearing a headset. He ordered someone on stage to press the switch. The switch was pressed and the guitar caught fire.
Well, that does seem to make sense. Though something about it is bugging me. Can't quite put my finger on it.
Really, it seems pretty simple to me.
Half full head, don't destroy what little respect I have for you. I was expecting something a little more sensible. I guess I was wrong.
What's this all about, Prosecutor Gavin?
The simple story simply makes no sense. Think, that night my guitar caught fire, yes. The cause may have been this indeed. However, the guitar caught fire during the second set. Ah, that's right, of course. The guitar caught fire. The guitar caught fire during Lamiroir's song. Indeed, yet the shooting happened during the third set. The two are utterly unrelated.
Yes, that must have been what was bugging me. The whole premise for this is faulty.
See, his story makes no sense.
Are you sure about that? What exactly do you mean, Mr. Justice?
Maybe it's not the premise for my explanation of the switch that's at fault. Maybe it's our premise for the entire case so far.
What premise is this specifically?
I'm glad you asked. I'm saying that maybe the killing didn't take place in the third act.
What's this? But Detective Emma Sky heard shots and found the body. All this happened in the third act.
Gunshots rang out, and according to his testimony, Maki was in that dressing room at the time.
Where are you going with this, Mr. Justice?
Stay with me, Your Honor. He also told us this in his testimony, namely that the victim had already been shot. We all heard gunshots, but no one saw the shooting.
This is insane.
Just before the shooting took place, the shooter was heard on his headset, telling someone to press the switch. The next moment, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flame. We know that a remote-triggered igniter was inside the guitar. From all these facts, we can draw only one conclusion. The crime did not take place during the third act, but during the ballad performance, the second act. What?
Order! But that goes against the evidence. What does, Your Honor? This crime was carried out according to the lyrics of that song, yes?
Hey, he's right, look. The bullet is supposed to come after the fire.
You're thinking about it the wrong way.
Huh?
Look, why would the shooter craft the events of the day to follow the lyrics anyway? It's an awful lot of trouble to go through, with little merit for the person doing it.
Well, I'm sure whoever it was had some reason.
Yes, they did. A reason that made it advantageous to follow the lyrics.
You're saying the order was reversed on purpose?
Reversed, Prosecutor Gavin?
If the criminal followed the lyrics strictly, then yes. The shooting would have had to come after the guitar burst into flame. Yet Herr Forehead has raised another possibility. He's claiming that the bullet came not after, but just before the fire.
Couldn't have put it better myself. I got another message. Okay. We were only meant to think that the shooting came after the guitar burst into flame. That was the criminal's objective. The crime followed the lyrics to a point, but that was the ruse. Why else would the killer risk discovery by moving the body? That was the final touch to make us think he'd follow the lyrics the whole way. Sweet.
Order! That would explain this most unusual situation.
It does. The killer changed the order of events to create himself an alibi. In other words, the killer was someone who had an alibi for the third step but not the second.
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but sadly it has. Let me tell you why your little fairy tale makes no sense at all. Oh, it sounds good, I'll give you that. You've given us a reason why the killer bothered following the lyrics of my song, but I question your logic. For it's flawed from the very beginning.
Flawed?
Yes, a contradiction, Herr Forehead, one I've pointed out several times, no less. At the time of the crime, the small window at the scene was closed. How can Lamiroir have heard a voice through it?
Oh,
I know that you would like to defer our attention from this critical fact, but you're basing your entire line of reasoning on a false premise.
Right. Lamiroir's testimony is my entire case. That voice she heard, the shooter's voice.
What if she couldn't hear it, Apollo?
Look, what do we have? A man saying press the switch. And near the crime scene we have a switch, which acts as a remote trigger for an igniter. And last but not least, Prosecutor Gavin's flaming guitar. It can't all be coincidence, but how do I make it work?
I see a more direct line of questioning is required. When the crime scene was investigated immediately after the crime, that window was closed. Care to tell us how Lamiroir heard the voice?
Key point, to be sure. Mr. Justice, can you explain this to the court?
Okay, Justice, you've got one thing to prove and one thing only. Lamiroir heard a voice, and she had heard it during the second set. Think, how was Lamiroir able to hear the voice? The window was open, she has divine hearing, or she was somewhere else. The window, okay, so the window was closed, so that's wrong. She has divine hearing. It doesn't make any sense, we never even brought that up. I'm gonna say she was somewhere else. I feel like she might be somewhere else. When we investigated the scene, the window was closed. The shooter had no reason to close it had it been open either, meaning it was impossible to hear the voice through that window.
Ah, it's good to hear you making sense again. For a moment I was afraid you might be a Borginian too.
As I was saying, Lamiroir could not hear the voice through that window, so there can be only one explanation. She heard the voice from another location entirely.
What's this?
Ha ha, you do amuse me so. And here I thought you and Good Sense were back on speaking terms. Now I'm afraid you and Good Sense speak two entirely different languages.
Hold on.
Shall I interpret for you, Herr Forehead? Lamiroir clearly stated she heard the voice through that small window, and there was only one small window at the scene.
Are you sure? Think about it. Isn't there another small window at the scene?
There is?
Ah, I know that look. He wants us to ask him. Very well, you claim Lamiroir heard the voice from another location. Mr. Justice, show us where this location was. Lamiroir heard the voice from here.
Okay. So, it's not... There's the vent up there. She could have heard it from up there. She could have been up there, like, with... Or was she with Maki? No, she wasn't with Maki. And there's a ladder right there. Is that guy gonna work? This is where Lamiroir heard that voice from.
But that's no small window. That's the air vent.
Haha.
What did she tell us? She said she's a Borginian, unfamiliar with our language. It's not a stretch to imagine that she called this air vent a small window.
Now you've done it. You've gone beyond ridiculous and into ludicrous. So Lamiroir was up on the ventilation system listening to this man's voice?
That's the only logical explanation, yes.
Logical, I do not think this word means what you think it means, half-forehead.
Okay, what about it isn't logical?
It hardly merits saying. Why would Lamiroir be in the ventilation system, hiding like a rat? No offense intended to her, of course.
The explanation for that is simple, Prosecutor Gavin. Isn't it Lamiroir? You have been listening to our discussion here, yes?
Yes, I admit it's had me quite confused since yesterday. Yes, the small window was closed, but why should that mean I could not hear through it? I feared our prosecutor might himself need an interpreter.
The problem here is words. Lamiroir, the small window through which you heard the voice, was it up high on the ceiling of the room? Not low on a wall?
Yes, it was up on the ceiling.
What? What? Oh, crap, I keep getting his voice wrong.
Oh, I gotta stretch here.
Order, I will have order.
Witness, you will clarify this statement to the court. Are you in fact saying that you were up above the ceiling of the room, and that's where you heard the moment of the crime?
Yes, in fact I was. I am sorry, I never imagined it would become such an important point.
Yes, well, why the heck were you up there?
I believe it's time for another testimony.
I'm not sure I can't.
May I remind you this is a murder trial. We will hear your testimony. Tell us why you witnessed the crime from above the ceiling of that room. Please.
Well, looks like I'm on the right track. Holy shillelagh, this is long.
Yes, I was above the ceiling when I heard the voice. I had heard there was a small window there before. It was in the middle of my performance. I had no time to report what I had heard. As to why I was there, I cannot say. I am bound to secrecy on this matter.
Okay, I just want to take a look at my evidence here really quickly. Just a little bit of a... Okay.
In my line of work, one has many obligations to uphold.
But you say you were in the middle of your performance, so this did happen during the second set.
I did not witness the crime, you must understand. I only know what I heard.
Yes, but you must tell us what you were doing, in detail.
That's what this cross-examination is for, Jar Half-Forehead. Our mission in this court is to discern the truth. No obligation, no binding pact may hinder that mission.
Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination.
What are you going to do, Apollo?
I'm going to find out the truth. She was up above that ceiling for a reason. I just have to get it out of her.
Well, how does she not know why she was there? We have a tape of her performance. She was there the entire time. How could she be in the small window? It was in the middle of her performance. She had no time to report what I had heard. As to why I was there, I cannot say. Well, we have a videotape that someone recorded. Where did we get it from? We got it from Valent Grammarier. He was the one who got the tape recording of Lamiroir's performance. She was there the entire time. Yeah, she was there the entire time! Objection!
Lamar, truth be told, the reason for your presence above the ceiling is quite clear, especially when you consider that what happened during your performance. She disappeared. She disappeared and then came back on the other side. She could have gone through the vent. That's not even possible! What happened? Yes, it's all right here on this video. Well, I guess she was crawling through the vent to get there. That makes sense. I thought it was a fast transition to when she actually appeared over there. As we can see, Lamar was clearly not on stage for her entire performance. Though it saddens me to be so realistic, Lamar is incapable of actually vanishing, let alone teleportation. So the only explanation is that she was hidden from view, and during that time, she moved to the back of the forum. Apollo? What, Tracy? It's not nice to reveal a magician's secrets, and it's against the rules. But I'm a lawyer. I'm not supposed to be nice.
This is all very fascinating, but how is it possible? There's only 20 seconds between when she disappears and reappears. She couldn't have moved that fast. Is something wrong, Prosecutor Gavin?
This was his concert, his show. He knows how the illusion was performed.
Aha!
He's just realizing his own oversight. Oh, it's so good. Let's look at the cross-section diagram again. Here we can trace a route through the ceiling. It goes from the stage through the backstage to the rear of the forum. Recall Lamar's testimony from yesterday. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it. Still messaging people.
She went from the stage to the backstage exit. A perfect description of this route above the ceiling.
Lamar knew this because of her part in the illusion. Oops. Pressed the wrong button. But she wasn't the only one who knew. What? Just now, in the lobby, Maki told me something. Oops.
I know of the opening vent. I can leave stage and backstage.
He said that? Oh, were you not informed, Prosecutor Gavin?
I knew about the vanishing act, of course, yet I had no idea of the route that would be used.
Why didn't that magician tell me?
Magicians only reveal details of their acts on a need-to-know basis. They're the bread and butter of a magician's life, you know.
Which is why you bound Lamar to secrecy. Well, Lamar? I am impressed, Mr. Attorney. Maki was right about you.
So what does this mean? Are you saying you used this route above the ceiling?
I did.
Well, that's that. But I'm still a little confused.
Why is that, Your Honor?
As I said before, there was very little time between when she disappeared and when she reappeared. 20 seconds tops. How could she do it so fast? Especially if she stopped to hear the shooter's voice.
That's a good question.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I cannot.
Very well, Mr. Justice.
Yes?
It's all up to you. Do your thing.
On what thing, Your Honor?
You need to explain how Lamiroir was able to teleport like she did, or I'm throwing your case out with the bathwater.
Why do I get picked on? It's Lamar who isn't going along with the program here. As I've stated before, I am not at liberty to speak of the illusion that night in detail.
Then you will just have to tell us what you can. We'll hear your testimony on this. Mr. Justice, it will be your job to wring the truth out of her.
Yes, if you would, please. Right. I feel like a student before finals. Good luck, Apollo. Jeez. Good luck, really. I followed the route exactly as I was instructed. There was an emergency exit in the backstage where a stagehand waited. From there, one can enter the forum on the opposite side from the stage. The plan was for me to move there in 2 minutes. Holy crap. I was on my way when I heard the voice.
2 minutes, you say? The mystery deepens. I suppose it was too much to hope that the judge would come up with something. As does my curiosity. Take it away, Mr. Justice.
Right, Your Honor. All I have to do is find the contradiction between what Lamiroir is saying and what we can see plainly in the video.
I figured it out already. I'm a magician after all.
Well, tell me.
Not a chance. I can't reveal another magician's secrets. Come on.
Hey, you're supposed to be on my side here. Cross-examination. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry. I gotta stop messaging people while I'm doing this. Hold it! How did you proceed along this route?
How? Why, I walked.
You arrived behind the forum much too fast to have been walking. Tell the truth, Lamiroir. You rode some kind of vehicle.
What? A vehicle? What vehicle?
Ah, what a novel idea. I like it. Hey, that's not a bad guess. Wrong, but not bad.
Yes, laugh at the dumb attorney. I don't mind.
I'm sorry, but the girl is right. The van was much too small for vehicles. It was a tight fit. Even I had to crouch as I walked. I cannot imagine a vehicle that would fit in such a small space.
If it wasn't a vehicle, what was it?
You had me going for a while there, Mr. Justice.
Oh, crap. Ready for the next part? Okay. Why do I feel like I'm on some kind of quiz show? Hold it! Did everyone on the concert staff know about the trick?
Not all. Only a few that were needed to help. See, like I said, it's on a need-to-know basis.
So not many people know about the trick.
What were these stagehands required to do?
One needed to open the emergency exit. The door to the stairs is locked, but once through there...
Hold it! So when you came back out, you were behind the audience.
Yes, that is how it worked. Not a bad show if I do say so myself. That's Uncle Valent for you, that old Grimoire touch.
But in the video, you were only gone for 20 seconds. How is that possible?
That's the part I don't get either.
Yes, it would be hard to go so far in only 20 seconds.
Hold it! 2 minutes.
Yes, it can be done in 1 minute if you are running.
Running? In that cramped, dark tunnel above the ceiling?
Ha, Mr. Attorney, have you forgotten? Dark or lit, it makes no difference to me.
Ah, that's true, but...
So you're saying that on the night of the concert, you made the trip in 2 minutes?
Yes, though I nearly didn't make it in time. You see, I stopped halfway.
Lamiroir disappears in this video for 20 seconds, but she said she made the trip in 2 minutes. How?
If you want my professional opinion, I'll bet the answer is right there in that video.
Well, Mr. Justice, perhaps you have some evidence for us? Something that can explain the discrepancy between the video and her testimony?
Evidence explaining the discrepancy. Alright. There's one piece of evidence that explains the discrepancy between video and testimony. Lyric sheet. No. Postcard was in her room. Investigation request, no. Revolver was in her dressing room. She dropped her brooch, which she may have dropped at, it was in her dressing room. So how did it get there when she was only going through the vent? That's what confuses me right there. Take that! Lamiroir, do you happen to remember this brooch?
Aha, the brooch. We saw that yesterday, did we not?
It was found at the scene, Your Honor.
And you're bringing this up now? Why? I thought we had already determined when that was dropped.
So did I, but we hadn't. Take another look at the video. Here you can see she's wearing the brooch.
So she is.
Let's look a bit later.
What? The brooch, it's gone.
What? Yes. The brooch disappeared in the short space of 20 seconds. And it takes a full minute to run from the stage to the backstage. Which means there can only be one explanation. The Lamiroir we see before the vanishing act and the Lamiroir we see after are two different people!
What?
The brooch was found on the floor at the crime scene, and not just on the floor. but on the floor directly beneath the air vent. Lamiroir, tell me, did you drop the brooch on your way from the stage to the backstage at the very moment you witnessed the crime?
Yes, I think I did.
Holy crap.
Order, Prosecutor Gavin.
From your... Hold on a second here.
Oh, that's weird. Let's say how. Oh, that's weird. Okay. I did not expect that. Okay, sorry guys.
From your expression, I gather you had no idea this was the case, Herr Judge. I, of course, knew about it.
What?
Don't get me wrong, I wasn't hiding it. It just never occurred to me that the switch and the shooting took place at the same time.
So I was right. There was a switch.
Oh, God. I clicked on something wrong here. Okay, there we go.
There was. Just before the stage's tower rose, Lamiroir was replaced.
While we're on the subject, just who is this replacement? Lamiroir.
Why, the man behind the illusion, Phallic Gramarye.
It was Gramarye? That's quite the illusion, but I still don't get one thing.
Yes?
The switch happened before the tower rose, correct? So you weren't on the stage. That's right.
That's right.
But this fake Lamiroir is still singing. And she's pretty good. That's true.
Come on, Apollo, that's an easy one. They were just playing a recording. The Gaviniers aren't some kind of air guitar band, Fraulein. Oh, you mean I'm wrong? When we play a show live, we play live, no recordings. Perhaps you can explain, Lamiroir. Very well.
Yes. Do tell, and add it to your testimony.
Hold it!
You were singing?
Yes. Mr. Gavin expressed a dislike for recordings, so I used this.
Wait, so you were singing the whole time? Even when you were crawling above the ceiling toward the backstage?
Why should it matter where I sing, even whenever everywhere I go is the same darkness?
But if you were singing while you were walking...
That's right, when the shooter and victim have heard, she was singing right over their heads after all.
That is right.
Are you sure?
You have to be pretty hard appearing to miss someone singing in the ceiling.
Once again, we come back to the state of the scene of the crime.
What state?
Ah, I know what he means. That old speaker, Apollo.
The speaker?
That speaker was blaring at the time of the murder. Oh, that's from monitoring the stage from his room. Monitoring? It pipes in a real-time feed from the stage microphones, useful for knowing when your set is coming up. Satisfied? That dressing room was fitted with a large speaker playing a direct feed from the stage. At my request, actually.
So Lamiroir singing in the ceiling sounded just like Lamiroir singing over the speaker. Ingenious, her voice was hidden by her voice.
Ah.
Lamiroir?
I have just remembered something.
Do tell.
When I heard the noise, the gunshots, yes, it startled me, so I stopped singing.
What?
I forgot the words I was supposed to sing.
The song stopped?
Thankfully, it was the very beginning of the second verse, so not many would notice. Forehead, that mixing board I lent you, where is it?
The mixing, huh?
That machine, Apollo, the one that breaks music into tracks.
Oh, this. I completely forgot about it. Let's take a listen. The song does stop there. It does? I must have missed it. Look at the lyric sheet at the top of the second verse. See where it says pleasure, pleasure? Now listen again. Oh, I see now. This is evidence indeed. I believe we are guilty of making a terrible mistake.
The crime didn't happen during the third set. It happened during the second, during Lamiroir's ballad.
If that is true, then no one on stage during the second set could have been the shooter.
Which means that Darian Crescent could have done it. He wasn't on stage for the second set. Well, Prosecutor Gavin?
Fascinating. I don't believe I've ever seen a trial turned around quite so thoroughly. Yet one problem remains.
What's that, Prosecutor Gavin?
Claire Forehead's theory does have a certain kind of logic to it. Yet it is entirely based upon Lamiroir's testimony.
Yes, is there a problem with this?
Well, it's quite simple, though it pains me to say it. What if she is lying to protect the defendant?
But you have no proof.
All I'm saying is that the truth is as yet unclear, until we hear directly from the man himself.
The man? You don't mean...
Yes. Though he is a friend and band member, Darian Crescent must take the stand. I see no other way.
As someone with a new perspective on the case.
As a suspect, to be frank.
Finally, the rat's coming out of his hole, and I'm ready to catch him. Darian Crescent, get ready for justice.
This is as good as a time as to any to pause for a brief recess. The prosecution will summon the witness. Have him here and ready by the time we begin.
I'm the last man who needs to be reminded of what his duties are.
Very well, court is adjourned for a 15-minute recess.
Dang it! Oh man, that was an hour. Hour 6 minutes. Holy crap. Alright, so I hope we finish this up tomorrow. If we don't finish up today, we'll finish up tomorrow. Yeah, I don't think there's ever a to be continues in court. There might have been a couple times in some of the previous Phoenix Wright games, but not any in this one yet. So, all right. So that was it for today's segment for Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. This case is getting crazy right now, and I cannot wait for us to start hearing from Darian tomorrow. I think he's definitely the one who killed Romain Letus. So, but we'll see what happens. Something always crazy happens in the Ace Attorney game, so we'll see. So thanks everybody for watching this segment or this session today for Apollo Justice Ace Attorney on the Nintendo DS for our 50th Let's Play. I'm Zachman18, and as always, I will see you guys in my next video coming soon. Objection!